What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Executive's View. I'm your host, Aaron Sirius Simmons, and this is the View from on top, man. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with the executives, and I do appreciate that. You guys know how I get down. If you see the show, share the show. We're all over the place, man. We on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, TikTok. We're doing big things in big places. I definitely want to take everybody along for the journey. I don't do this by myself. I got a slew of brothers that are sitting here ready to chop it up and talk about everything around the world of sports. The homie villain is back in the building off his hiatus. What's going on? How we doing, sir?
I feel like you think it's a hiatus or something. Like, no,
I mean, I ain't trying to put your whole business out there like that.
Yeah.
A hiatus.
It's from vacation from Cabo.
Yeah, it's all good. Listen, I'm not going to tell the truth that my wife beat me up, but no, I'm kidding.
There you go. See, I was trying to say Miss Nikki.
No, it's all good, man. I'm glad to be back. I miss working with you guys, so let's chop it up, man. Let's go to work.
Yeah, man, let's go to work. We got Larry, aka the 49er fan, aka the Houston Texans. I mean, whatever. Larry's in the building. What's going on, my guy? How we doing, sir?
Man, I'm gonna start calling you Mr. Jackson over here, talking about some control. Aaron Rodgers ain't had no damn control of that ball, man.
He had control of the ball.
He had a pee-pee touch on the ball, man. He didn't even have a full grip. He had 3 pinkies on the ball, and they talking about
we'll get to that, I'm sure, later on, man. You good, though?
Yeah,
you good?
I'm glad you back, Barry.
Appreciate you. Breaking news here is back in the building. What's going on? Breaking news. How we doing, sir?
Man, blessed to be here with you boys. Been knee deep in college football tape review, getting the execs ready for the 2026 NFL draft. And I do gotta say, you know what? I'm glad to have you back, villain. I'm sure that beatdown was similar to your wife being the Chargers and you being the Philadelphia Eagles. It wasn't pretty, boys. It wasn't pretty.
Yeah.
That's
lots to go over there.
That was nasty. With that being said, gentlemen, I'm gonna get the show off and running, man. We got a lot to get to and not a lot of time to get into it, man. I'm gonna rip the proverbial band-aid off, man. The college football playoffs are set. We got a lot of people pissed off. We got a lot of fans calling everybody everything but a child of God on social media. People is upset, frustrated, and you know what? We got a podcast. We're gonna talk about it, man. Villain, talk to me, man. How did you feel that shaked out? Did the community get it right? What would you rather see them do? Talk to me. Where's your head at, big dog?
I mean, there's a lot of angles to go after for the college football playoff. First of all, I'm going to give props to the teams that did make it. There's a lot of deserving teams in there, like Ohio State, Indiana, Texas Tech, Georgia, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Oregon, etc. I think one of my things was it would have been a crime if Notre Dame made it over Miami, and that wasn't the case. I think the committee kind of got boxed in to that because everybody was screaming Bloody Mary if they made it in over Notre Dame, being Miami. If Notre Dame made it over Miami, I think that one of the things that we have to talk about is why. Larry brings up a great point every time that the rankings in the early season don't mean anything. And I think the rankings during the season don't mean a lot either, because why would you have Notre Dame ranked ahead of Miami in the college football playoff, seedings or bracket, whatever you want to call it. And then like the day that they don't play, both of them don't play, you have Miami leapfrog them. Miami should have been ahead of them the whole time. Right? Like they should have had Miami ahead of them because they won head to head. Doesn't matter that they played in August or what have you. So I think that kind of, is egg on the committee's face. I think one of the things we have to talk about is these conference championships. I think they want to keep the emphasis on being a conference champion because it makes college football money. That whole weekend is theirs for college championship. But then now you're rewarding teams that probably shouldn't get into the conference, into the college football playoff because they won a conference championship, i.e. Tulane and James Madison. I'm not saying they're undeserving, but they're not one of the top 12 teams in the country. So I think from that perspective, they got it wrong. I know you guys will talk about the SEC and, the bias that people seem to have, and Alabama getting in with a third loss, getting drubbed in the championship game. But I feel like in general, and I'll just say this, a blanket statement, you shouldn't be penalized from playing an extra game that Oregon, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Texas A&M didn't play. You know what I mean? So I feel like if those teams were good enough, they should be in a conference championship. If Notre Dame is as good as they should be. They should be in a conference. They would be in a conference championship in the ACC if they played in the ACC. So everybody's going to talk about, I'll wrap it up. I'm sorry. Notre Dame, they should be in. I look at their resume. It doesn't impress me. They didn't beat anybody of significance. Pitt was barely a top 25 team. USC was barely a top 20, 15 team. They don't have a quality win on their schedule in my book. Miami at least does. Alabama definitely does. They beat Georgia on the road. So I don't know why Notre Dame's crying blood and Mary. So from that perspective, I think they're one of the 12 best teams in the country, but the way it shakes out, the way the committee has this playoff, they don't get in. And that's it. I mean, we'll talk about the aftermath of it afterwards, I would imagine.
Before I go, Coach made it in the building. Hold on, Coach. How we doing, sir?
What's going on? I do not like the side view here. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's a pain. I ain't gonna hold you. It's a pain. I want to double tap on something you said, Villain, and then I'll kick it, around. I do believe that the top 12 teams need to make it into the playoff. The top 12. I no disrespect to JMU, Tulane. I just don't feel as though they measure up to the others, and I fear, with the exception of maybe Ole Miss and Tulane, because I'm not sure what Ole Miss team we're going to get. I'm not sure what Ole Miss team we're going to get. Oregon is going to beat JMU by 50.
It could.
You know what I'm saying? And so, I just feel as though, you know how we all play Madden and 2K. When you are punching outside your weight class, you get the message. And if this was online at EA Sports, I feel as though JMU will get the message. I think Alabama, Oklahoma, that storyline writes itself. Texas A&M, Miami. I'm looking forward to seeing how that game shakes out. And where they potentially go. I mean, could we get a Miami Ohio State matchup in round 2? That'd be fun to watch. An Ole Miss Georgia. We seen that before. Indiana, Oklahoma. Basketball wise, yeah, that'd be great. Football wise, who knows? You know what I'm saying? And then Oregon, TCU. I mean, I'm gonna keep it a whole bean. No disrespect to TCU. I think Oregon beats them too. But we'll talk about that as the weeks go on, as we get into the thick of this thing. Larry, talk to me, man. Where's your head at, big dog? I mean, we know the 12 that are in. Excuse me, we know the teams that are in. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 games this weekend. When this thing kicks off, man, where's your head at, big dog?
Man, I told y'all before, bro. This is a joke. This is a joke. And I'm like the Joker, man. Sometimes you gotta introduce a little anarchy, bro. And I like what Notre Dame did. They said, screw y'all. We ain't got no conference. Oh well, we'll take our money, we'll take our revenue, and we'll walk away. I'm glad they did it. Because now it's gonna force other teams to do that. And look, I'm gonna put it like this. Virginia, on paper, had a better record, right? What happened when they got to their conference championship? They got upset. Everybody thought Ohio State was clearly the number 1 team. What happened? They got beat. The only way you're going to see if these teams can beat these other teams is if they play each other, right? You cannot tell me that you're picking the best teams, but it doesn't matter if you're not in the SEC or the Big Ten. It doesn't matter. And I'm a fan of, and y'all could say what y'all want to say. NCAA March Madness roll around. Hey, you're in the SWAC. You know what? You won the SWAC championship. They don't say, oh, you won the SWAC championship, but it don't matter. You can't go to March Madness. Like, if that's the case, then all these other conferences don't matter. It don't matter. I feel like if you win your conference championship, you're in the playoffs. if you're Ole Miss, you didn't win your conference championship. Oh well, maybe you will get an at-large. Ole Miss does not have a coach. We're not even talking about Notre Dame. Ole Miss does not have a coaching staff, but you still put them in. Like they didn't win a conference. I feel like unless you're gonna, I'm gonna say it the correct way, unless you're gonna poop on all the other conferences, then you basically need to say win a conference championship does not qualify you getting in, and we'll just see what happens. And we'll just put in as many SEC teams and many Big Ten teams as we possibly can. And I get it, Aaron. That's an assumption, bro. We making the assumption that JMU gonna get boat raced by Oregon. That's an assumption, bro. It's called every given Sunday. You can get beat. You can get beat by one of these teams. And I'll go even further. And this is like I say, this is just my pet peeve about it. It's like everything is so subjective. I will give Ole Miss a little bit credit because they did play a two-line team. But how many teams, dude, outside of Barry, we Florida State fans. How bad does that Florida State loss look now on Alabama's resume? And they got 3 losses. How bad does that look right now? And that's the only non-SEC team that they played besides they played Morgan State or somebody that they boat raced.
Yeah. East Alabama State or something like that, right?
Yeah, dude. Like,
Popcorn University.
This is gonna be my final take on it. The whole playoff system, the whole expansion to 12 was to create more parity, give more teams opportunity to compete for the championship, right? Mm-hmm. Right now, how many possible rematches are we gonna see?
I mean, quite a few.
Oklahoma, Alabama, Georgia, they've all played each other. Oregon, Indiana, bro. We could possibly run into 7-8 games that we've already saw.
I mean,
which is fine if they're the best teams. Like
I'm
not worried about that. I think
if I won my conference, I'm one of the best teams. If I won the ACC, I'm one of the best teams. If I won the Big 12, I'm one of the best teams, bro. Like, dude, like put me in. Let me see how I stack up against these other teams. That's just how I look at it.
I agree with that.
Win your conference.
Why they're in is what bothers me because Larry, it's not about giving the little guy a chance. It's about saying we want to still make money off the conference championship game.
Exactly.
That's what I'm
saying. So if you the Oklahomas and the Mississippis win your conference and you in. Other than that,
no, but it's not about winning the conference to me, Larry. It's about making money off the conference game because that's another week of football where college football makes millions of dollars. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Dr. Pepper pays millions of dollars to have the halftime show, some kid throwing a football through a Coke can or a Pepsi can or whatever.
I get it, bro. So I get it. I totally get it, bro.
That's the only reason that they keep an emphasis on the conference championship getting you in the game. It's not because
the reason why they mad at Notre Dame because Notre Dame won't get in so they can get their cut. That's the reason why the ACC, like I said, they probably sent that McDonald's bag or that duffel bag over and said, you know what, we paying y'all under the table, so of course y'all got to put in our team. Like I said, I'm not mad at Notre Dame. It's just for me, it's like Notre Dame.
To be honest, I'm mad at him. I'll be honest with you.
I'm pissed at Notre Dame. I'm pissed at Notre Dame.
I love it.
I like it. I understand why they're taking their ball and going home, but I don't like the fact that they're taking their ball and going home because they have such a monopoly on the game as it is. They're going to get an automatic bid if they finish in the top 10 starting next year, no matter what happens. Right?
But they got quality wins, though. Don't get it twisted, dude. Notre Dame has some quality wins, and Notre Dame has actually been one of they literally have been one of the hottest teams down the stretch, bro.
They're 1-2 against the top 20 or top whatever.
But I'll pull in a minute. Yeah, the 1-2 versus the top 20. The only signature win was against Pitt.
Pitt or USC, one of the two. You can call it like that. But my thing is, they won
10 straight games. They won 10 straight games.
But my thing is, Larry, and then I'll let you guys go. I'm sorry, I'm monopolizing this, but to me, they get $20 million last year from getting into the title game. Okay. They get all this money from the TV, from the NBC deal, and it's just like they're just like a spoiled child. Like they get their way, they get their money, and then when one thing doesn't go their way, when they could have controlled it on the field, if they beat Miami, we're not having this conversation. If they beat Texas A&M, we're not having this conversation. They didn't handle it on the field, and then they take that ball and go home crying wolf.
Okay, Bear, so
and
let's not
the
even
ACC for a social media campaign that they allege vindicated them to put in Miami. Like, dude, join the conference. Like,
but I'll go even further. If I was Duke, I would have took my ball and went home too. Duke has literally been one of the hottest teams coming down the stretch, and they won.
Lost 7-5. What are we talking about?
They lost to UConn.
Dude, this is what I'm going with this, right? Even in pro football, how many times have you seen a team that may not have started the season off good and went on an amazing streak and won?
That does not work in college football.
Your Steelers actually have a Super Bowl.
You cannot marry
have a Super Bowl as a wild card. Barry, your Giants have a Super Bowl as a wild card, bro.
Yeah,
the only way you're going to see that is if you let them play it on the field, bro.
You cannot.
Duke is not. Duke is a terrible example of that because they lost to UConn like a month ago.
They won their conference championship. They've been one of the hottest teams down the street.
7-5. They're not even in the top 25. You have to take from the top 25.
Championship, bro. Your Giants literally have a wild card Super Bowl win. They were the hottest team down the street, bro.
Again, Larry. You cannot equate what happens on the NFL to what happens in college football.
Football, bro.
On there. You can't marry the two.
But you gotta let them play. You don't know that if you can't. Y'all making assumptions and y'all looking like assholes. You cannot do that unless you let them play. You gotta let them play the games. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, so let me
You're making an assumption. An assumption is like assholes. Everybody got one. You're making an assumption.
Let me get this straight. You would much rather and put Duke in. Who you kick out to put Duke in?
See them play the game and see what happens.
But that's what I would rather take out to put in.
Who would you take out to put Duke in, Larry?
Mississippi. They didn't win. They didn't win their conference. Take them out.
And Mississippi's 11-1, Larry. Come on.
I don't care. Take them out. They didn't win their conference.
The only loss was to the number 2 team in the.
Dude, there's only 5 teams that are going to win their conference. Everybody else is an at-large bid. What are we talking about? I would take out
Alabama. So Alabama got 3. Alabama got 3 losses and didn't win their conference championship.
And Duke has 5.
I don't care. They won the championship. They won it. That's like I said. That's like in college basketball. You telling somebody they won their conference championship and they don't go to March Madness.
Marry the two. These are 2 different sports that are run 2 different ways.
They're still the NCAA, bro. It's still the NCAA, bro. Dude, even in college basketball, I watch college baseball. I don't know about y'all. Y'all know how many teams in college baseball have went on runs and won college baseball? A lot.
But it's 2 different structures. Though. It's like this. Here's the thing, though. It's like with college basketball, it's like so. Let's say I remember the year St. Joe's. St. Joe's. St. Joe's was like number 1 team in the A10 all year, undefeated. They lost in their conference championship. So what did that do? That pushed St. Joe's still in the tournament, and then I think Temple, whoever won the A10 that year, still went to March Madness. It's like
so they win. They win.
It's a different sport.
Right. You gotta let them play it. You gotta let them play it, bro. Like, dude,
the problem is, unlike March Madness, you don't have 64 teams that get in.
I'm a boxing fan. That's like you have 2 champions, 2 undefeated champions, and people are making assumptions of who's gonna win, but they never get in the ring and actually fight each other.
That's all boxing is anyway. Like all these like super made up fights. What would happen if Sugar Ray Robinson fought Sugar Ray?
You gotta make the match.
Like people did it all the time.
But you gotta make the match. You gotta make the match, bro.
I think Brian hit on something, and Brian, I'm gonna let you go because we've been ducking this whole time. Brian, like you said, the difference between college football and college basketball is the 64 team field. Go ahead and go, my guy.
So I got a lot to say about the whole college playoffs, and obviously, listen, Larry, I appreciate your passion. I am a total proponent of the underdog. You heard me last week say I'm totally for chaos, right? The problem is when you only have a 12-team field, you don't have enough leeway to have that chaos, to put in a 5-loss. Think about all the teams in the nation that are better than Duke. And I'm just using them. Like you talked about how good they are. Listen, they were 3-3 down the stretch. 3-3. We're not talking about a team that got super hot. We're talking about a team that over the course of the last, I mean, what are we talking? The last 6 games, their only quality win was against Virginia in the playoff game or in the championship game, right? That's their only quality win, and they lost by 20 to that same Virginia team not even a month before that, right? So all I'm saying is, I'm not saying you're wrong, but what I'm saying is, in our heart of hearts, we know that if Duke and Notre Dame played on a neutral site, the game's probably not going to be super close. I understand you're saying, hey, it's got to be played. My contention would be, listen, I've heard a lot of people make the Ole Miss argument like you and Larry. I've heard a lot of people make the argument for Notre Dame. I think the team that got screwed is Vanderbilt. Look at Vanderbilt's resume. Look at the fact that they had 4 quality wins against top 20 teams, and they're a 2-loss team, and they didn't get in over a team like Alabama, right? Now, I think it's really hard to leave out Alabama. I actually think, right.
Mhm.
I actually think for the most part, the committee got it right, right? Like people hate the fact that the SEC has so much representation and that Alabama got in as a 3-loss team. But like when you really break it down, they played more top 25 teams than any other team. Like straight up, they played more teams, and the team that essentially would have knocked them out, Georgia, is the number 2 team in the nation, and they walloped them earlier in the year. So at least this, in your, by your own
They won by 3.
standards,
Stop.
Larry.
They won by 3. They
No, no,
won
no,
by
no,
3.
no. I'm saying the way they played on the field. Anybody who watched that game, Alabama was the more physical team. They were the better team that day. I'm not talking about the score. I'm saying they walloped them. That was an ass kicking. I'm telling you, I watched the
The
game.
score
So now
matters
you
in this
hear-
argument, though, bro. The score
They
matters.
lost to a Florida State team that couldn't beat
Right.
me and
That
you,
was
all
week
5 of us.
1. Week 1.
That's
No matter,
fine.
bro.
But now you have your scenario in which you wanted. You have a team that's each lost to each other once, and they're both in the playoffs and they have a chance to win. I feel bad for teams like Vandy. I feel bad for teams, like if you want to put in Notre Dame, but the reality is where the field is currently at 12. This is the reason why earlier in the year I said we really need to be at like 24. 16, because the problem is there's not enough at-large bids, and there is better teams at large than there is the 4th and 5th best conference championship team. But it doesn't mean that I'm not proud and I'm not excited that teams like JMU and North Texas and Tulane and all those teams are now going to have an opportunity, right, to play in the bigger games. Whether they win or lose, they've at least earned that opportunity as a 1-loss team. They've earned that opportunity to showcase their team on the national stage. I just think, getting back to the point, Larry, the issue is in basketball, you have a 64-team field. You can have a bad start. In the NFL, you play 17 games. You can have 4 or 5 losses and still make the quote-unquote playoffs. The problem is the college football season has always been a shortened season. I think the biggest travesty is you're gonna make a lot of these teams that go to the playoffs essentially play an extra game, right? That other teams didn't have to play, extra wear and tear on their body, extra injury risk, and some people did get injured, and then and some of these teams don't have to play that, as Barry mentioned. Oregon, totally fresh. They've had a quote unquote bye week, and they're going to be playing. They're going to be playing a team that's, a lot of people would say outgunned, outmatched, whatever. Well, you know what? That may be true, but maybe the game might have been different if the other team wasn't already coming into the matchup handicapped, right? But the problem is if you didn't play that extra week, they probably wouldn't even gotten an opportunity to be here. So it's hard to balance the pros and the cons. I'm with you. I would love to see more people have opportunities, but the problem is with opportunities means you're going to have to increase the number of the field, right? And then, what does that look like? I'm not sure. I do think that for the most part, though, they got it right. Every year I complain about somebody. My biggest gripe this year is Vandy, but for the most part, I think you're hard pressed to leave out a 1-loss Ole Miss team. I think you're hard pressed to leave out an Alabama team that has more top 25 wins than any other team. I think I think you're hard pressed. You're basically holding the conference championships against those teams when other teams don't have to play the conference championship game. They get a free pass into the playoffs.
Coach, talk to me, man. You've been in and out, chiming in, man. You're the college aficionado, man. Where's your head at with all this, big dog?
So here's my thought process. And first off, I'll preface this by saying, okay, boo hoo hoo, Notre Dame joined the conference. Who cares? Like here's the thing. So I'm looking at it, and something to kind of piggyback on Brian's point. Like these games aren't Saturday. The next week. You know what I'm saying? So everybody should be well rested, be able to get a chance to heal. There's a reason why Army and Navy, the only game is the only game in town this weekend. So that I'll go with that. But when you look at it though, we talk about the extra game. Bama played the extra game. OU didn't. Miami and Texas A&M, they both should be equally fresh. Tulane had to play an extra game. Ole Miss didn't. JMU had to play an extra game. Oregon didn't. You know, this is how it is. It's just like I don't know. Like my whole thing with this situation is BYU. You look at BYU. It's like they have two losses, but their two losses they got their teeth kicked in by Texas A&M both. I mean, by Texas Tech both times. So it's like the only, like again, the optics matter. It's like at the end of the day, yes, Tulane got boat race. They got walloped by Ole Miss early in the year. Like JMU they played the extra game. They got to fly across the country to Eugene to play an Oregon team that's already probably like gonna overwhelm them. Like Miami and Texas A&M. I think that's gonna be fantastic. I think that's gonna be actually be a good game. But the game of the first round. I mean, did y'all see that first Alabama OU game? Okay, that was one of the better games of the season. And I'm glad we get to see that again. Hoping for a different result. Roll Tide. Because y'all already know how I feel about the other team. But the bigger thing of this is like Notre Dame knew what they were doing with this whole like take my ball and go home thing. Because now you're looking at all these other teams. It's like I said it in the group chat, but I'll say it here on the show. It's like teams look Notre Dame, whether you like it or not. Well, like other programs look to Notre Dame as like some kind of guiding light. What is Notre Dame doing? Oh, Notre Dame's doing it. Maybe we should be doing this too. That's why you have Iowa State and Auburn and all these and Kansas State like refusing to go to bowls and stuff like that because like well Notre Dame's doing it. If they can do it, we can do it. And it's just going to set a bad precedent for moving forward because like again, they're cutting off their nose to spite their face. And Notre Dame has always thought that they were America's college football team, just like how the Cowboys think they're America's team. It's like Notre Dame has always branded themselves as, well, we're America's college football team, and we get what we want because we're Notre Dame, and everybody can't wait to see Notre Dame football on Saturdays in the fall. And it's like it's not 1981 anymore. That used to be the case, but now it's not. And Notre Dame is acting like it still is the case, and it's not. And I just think it's bad business for Notre Dame to be like, oh, like the ACC, like is like bigging up Miami instead of us. It's like because Miami's actually in the ACC. See, you guys like are playing house with the ACC. Miami's actually married to the ACC. They're in the conference. So I said it in my video, which definitely check out my video, Coach's Quick Slant on Notre Dame. But anyway, definitely check that out. But guys, they're like Larry, I'm talking to you with this. Anarchy, chaos, whatever like that. The thing everybody loves anarchy until it's like time to make a decision. Because in anarchy, everybody listens to the boss. And everybody that is how.
Did we lose, Coach?
I think we may have lost Coach, man.
I'll say this. I like
anarchy.
anarchy. I like anarchy, and I'm gonna say this, dude. Conferences are like gangs. Everybody wants to join them. You should be in the gang. If you're not in the gang, you're not cool. And I love what Notre Dame is doing. And like, dude, breaking news. I'm gonna put it like this: like you say, Alabama quality wins. How many SEC teams that we know that were greatly overranked, and how many teams we kept begging and saying, why are they not ranked all year long? Dude, Missouri shouldn't have never been ranked. Tennessee was borderline at best being ranked. Dude, there was a lot of SEC teams that were overranked, but now those rankings count as quality wins, bro. And that's just how I look at it, man. And it's sad because if you're not in a conference, you're looked down upon. But I like Notre Dame making their own rules, bro. I like to live by their own.
I really don't agree with that because like UConn's not in the conference. We're 9-3. We don't even get a sniff. So what does that mean? The thing that bothers me about Notre Dame, Larry, the thing that bothers me is that, like I said earlier,
like Notre Dame.
If they finish in the top 10, they automatically get in. What can they do? They can manipulate their schedule to play anybody they want. They could play Tulane. They could play JMU. They could play Grambling. Run the table, go undefeated, and they're automatically in. They don't have to.
You know why I come back with you on that.
They don't have to play an SEC schedule to get in. So
but you know why I go back with you that you could be the 9th best SEC team and they'll put your ass in there. That's why
it's not about SEC bias. It's about Notre Dame already has the system manipulated and they don't complain. They complain when it doesn't go their way. It's ridiculous. I think the whole college football playoff, and we said this a couple of years ago. I think Coach was one of the first ones to say it. Larry, you weren't here, but like Aaron, we were saying it. When it goes to 12 teams, the chaos is going to get even worse. We said it. It went from 2 teams in the championship game to 4. Nobody was happy. It went from 4 to 12, and they still haven't figured it out because the committee is ridiculous. They don't have this thing figured out. Like the fact that a 5-loss team can get into an ACC championship game is a joke. Why? Because you're relying on SMU, an unranked team, to handle their business. They didn't do it. One thing that's going to come out of this is the tiebreakers are going to get fixed because the ACC screwed up, and the fact that Alabama got into the ACC championship. Alabama got into the SEC championship game, and Ole Miss is a 1-loss team. The tiebreakers are ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You know where they want to go, north and south or east and west, SEC South, Big Ten North, everybody in those conferences, two conferences. That's all they want in college football.
Barry, you know what I'm gonna tell you, and I know Coach is gonna love this. Coach, I'm gonna pass this to you. Outside of Ohio State and Texas, what team scheduled a pushover non-conference game? Outside of the conference,
there's lots of them. USC plays Notre Dame every year.
I'm not talking. I get it. Notre Dame's not in the conference, but what other team scheduled somebody that wasn't a pushover?
Alabama tried. I mean, it's not their fault that Florida State fell apart this year. That was a big time non-conference game.
Yeah, and the new Oklahoma State coach wants to put Oklahoma back on their schedule. That essentially is a non-conference game. Well, Coach, what's the new coach's name for Oklahoma State?
Morris.
But I'm saying who?
Morris. Yes, right. I'm sorry. So he's already doing that. So, some of them do it.
I get it. The season is shaking out. So who has a non-conference game even close to that game as the season is shaking out?
Texas, Ohio State. You mean?
That's it.
No, I mean, so what game is close to that? Not many.
Well, it would be hard to put anything in that stratosphere because you're talking about number 1 versus number 2 at the time.
I'm just saying.
But there's plenty. There was multiple top 25 teams that played against each other that were not in conference.
Find one for me.
So I think the problem. All I'll say is this. I'm not arguing with you, and we'll give Coach a shot. But I'm not arguing with you, but I will tell you, Barry is right. If you really want to make the conference, if you really want to worry less about money and more about making the college football playoffs schedule, put a tougher schedule out there for your team to play. Don't play Appalachian State. Don't play UCLA. Don't play,
You can do
But
that in the SEC and still
But you
and
can't.
still
the,
make
the
it.
thing is,
You can't
if
do
you
it for
listen
the
to if you
UCLA.
listen to
UCLA
Larry,
is in a
they
big
got to go
league.
play it anyway. They got to play. They got to play the
no.
game. So you
But
just assuming that Appalachian State
listen,
can't beat them,
my
Michigan.
my point being, Larry, is the difference when you're in the SEC, at least right now, right? Because football, just like anything else, comes in waves. Big Ten back in the day was on top for a while. Pac-12 was on top for a while. The point being is, if you have a lot of ranked teams in your division, you're naturally already going to have a hardy strength of schedule. But if you're a team like Notre Dame and you only have one team on your schedule that's a top 25 and you schedule cupcakes, like you can't feel bad for them.
I'm
They
gonna say
created
something.
that situation. Go ahead,
I'm
coach.
gonna I'm gonna say something, boy. Look at Notre Dame's schedule next year. Just saying. I don't know if anybody's done that. I have.
Who
I
they
hope not.
play?
I'm gonna look at it here in a minute.
They start off the season with Wisconsin mistakes, and they play Purdue, and they play Michigan State, and of course they play those service academies, the game with USC and stuff like that. But again, their schedule next year is
Ooh,
probably worse than it was
ooh.
this year. Their schedule next year, they're going to they might go undefeated. It's like
I
their
got it.
schedule next year. Yeah, you got it up. Like I don't
Yeah,
have it in
you
front
only
of me.
probably want me to read it off.
Yeah, pull it up because this is exactly what I'm talking about, Coach.
This is
Right.
why.
They
This is why. It's no coincidence. It's no coincidence, boys, that this whole new thing where all they got to do is be top 12. They're going to start the season
top
top
10.
10.
Yeah,
Oh,
all they have to
they-
do is stay in the top 10.
They're not
But
losing the
I'm
game,
gonna let
dog.
Sirius run through it. I'm gonna let Sirius run through it because they're gonna go undefeated next year.
Yeah,
they're
bring up
doing it.
the
They're doing it.
schedule.
So
I'm
this
doing
is
it right
this
now.
is
So
what I'm
we
gonna say.
got
So why none of these other teams want to schedule Notre Dame? Notre Dame they not in the conference. You can schedule them.
Notre Dame doesn't
Notre
want to
Dame's
schedule
got to
other
accept it.
teams.
Come on, man.
They
It's
have to
not
accept
like
it.
you could just pick who you
Go
want.
both ways. It go both ways.
It goes
You gotta
both.
accept it.
Yeah, but
You
like Notre
got-
Dame has contracts that are like 5 years out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Wisconsin, Rice, Michigan State, Purdue, North Carolina, Navy, Florida State, Miami,
Trash.
SMU, and Syracuse.
trash. Trash.
Miami, SMU, and USC are the only teams that are quote unquote quality teams on that schedule.
Yeah, and I won't even put
And
Florida
who's
State
to
in that
know?
right now.
But I'm saying, like, who's to even know what they're going to look like next year? Because you never know with injuries and everything else. Like by the time you get to USC at the end of the year, maybe that's not even a worthwhile game.
But you know what's going on, Brian? They're now that you got that North money, like down south, they got car dealers money. Up north, they got car maker money. Notre Dame has been pumping money into that program that they already get. Like they can get 5-star kids whenever they want. They can buy them. You know what I mean? Like that's why Lane Kiffin, his punk, you know what? I ain't gonna curse Mama. I ain't gonna do it. But you know his punk behind went to LSU because Ole Miss didn't agree to his terms of spending money. You know what I mean? So Notre Dame has that money. That's why they get Jeremiah Love. You know what I'm saying? So they're rigging the system. They'll get their $20 million off the top. It's ridiculous. Like I said this. I would have said this, and I said this to a couple of friends of mine in Sirius and Coach. You know who I'm talking about. If Miami would have lost that spot, it's really on them because they didn't play anybody. They played anybody, but they didn't decide it on the field. They're the ones that lost games. Like they lost to SMU. They lost games that they had no business losing. Notre Dame had their chance. They had 2 top 10 teams in Miami and Texas A&M. You lost. You know, like you lost. So right at this point, it's I want to say it's like Straight Out of Compton when Ice Cube's talking to Eric and he's like, you know what, you kind of acting like a hoe right now. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that you're taking your ball and running is you're acting like a hoe. Like you really are. It's sad.
It's funny,
so
but
let
I will tell
me
you,
this, Ray.
if it wasn't for the fact way back in week 1 that Notre Dame and Miami played against each other, I totally think that similar record, I think Notre Dame would have got the 12th spot.
Sure. Yeah, me too.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think Miami gets it. I think that head-to-head, and I'm bringing this up because we know what their 2026 schedule looks like. what would be the justification for them to ever schedule any meaningful games moving forward if all they have to do is be ranked in the top 10? Because you already know every year, just because everybody loves them, they're going to be ranked in the top 15 just right off the
preseason,
rip.
preseason they're gonna be preseason they're gonna be right on 10. They're
Which
gonna come in
Larry
at 10.
season polls, right?
Okay.
Right. So I'm saying, so it's like, okay.
But I'm gonna say this right quick, y'all. Because y'all know I say this because I don't like them. But they're gonna overrank a lot of these SEC teams. But Alabama next year plays East Carolina or Florida State Seminoles because they signed the back-to-back, and Chattanooga as a non-SEC conference schedule.
But like I said, the problem, Larry, the problem is even with
they're going to get by
everything
because
you
they're going to
just
say they
said,
got quality wins against
they're
SEC
still going to play 7 ranked teams.
Yeah, exactly.
You
can't tell me some of these ranked teams in the
because
SEC
they overrank
aren't
teams.
But no, Larry, you can't
They
say that.
overrank
You
the teams.
can't say some of these SEC teams aren't good. Come on, now that's SEC bias.
Dude.
I'm not an SEC guy, but that's
It
SEC
is.
bias.
Missouri was ranked almost all season, and they were
Take out
trash.
Missouri. Look at the other teams that are ranked,
Tennessee.
Larry.
Tennessee is still ranked
Even-
right now and trash.
Dude, take those teams out of the equation. Take those
Even-
2 teams
No,
out of
but
the
they
equation.
count as quality wins, bro.
So what?
But
But you
even-
still have
Bro.
Georgia. You still have Ole Miss, Texas A&M.
Right.
You got Texas Longhorns, Oklahoma Sooners, and
Missouri-
Vanderbilt. That's 7
Missouri was
teams that are
8-4.
ranked that are still good.
Not only that, Missouri was 8-4. They may have been slightly overranked, but they're not horrible. And look at the teams that they lost to, like multiple one-score losses to ranked teams. They're not a bad team at all.
Should they be ranked ahead of Navy? I don't think so.
Navy that blew their load at the end of the year. They couldn't get it done.
Yeah.
That Navy team.
Navy made it. Navy might have beat them.
Listen,
Navy, they didn't beat
you
anybody
could-
down the stretch, did they?
Could
No,
you
they
could you
don't.
not make the same argument for Navy that we're talking about with Notre Dame? Who did they play?
Nobody.
I'm just
Who
saying.
did they play?
Would
No,
would
I'm
a
asking you a
Notre Dame
question.
have beat them?
Legitimately, right.
Would a Notre
Go
Dame
ahead
have
and
beat them?
complete the sentence.
Dude, would
Notre
Notre
Dame
Dame have
beat
beat them?
them.
Navy's in is it Navy in the American Conference?
I'll check. I think so.
Yeah,
No,
Navy's in the
listen.
American Conference.
Okay, yeah.
And you know what? Breaking
They
news. This is
played-
why. Breaking news. This is why I'll rely on you too, dude. I forgot Notre Dame's head coach though. That dude has actually been building.
Freeman.
Freeman has had
Yeah, he's a bad dude.
a top 5 recruiting class, and he's been hitting the portal. He got talent on that team, bro.
Money.
He
He got
is.
talent
Yeah,
on that team,
Get them
bro.
dollar bills,
That-
bro.
That
Freeman
old-
is a
that
hell of
old
a
school
coach,
money.
Larry. I'll agree
is.
with you. Freeman is a
But I'm
really
just
good
saying,
coach.
He has talent on that
I
team.
think the best thing that they did was fire Kelly and hire him right out the gate because everybody wanted it. He deserved it, and he's a really good coach. But you can't tell me Notre Dame money ain't long. You can't tell me that money ain't long.
But if you
They're
looking
stealing
at
money.
talent, it's
They're
talent on that
stealing
team,
money
bro.
from college
listen.
football
But it's talent on that team.
Listen,
because they
Larry,
pay for it.
Navy,
What do you think
Navy
Ohio
played,
State is doing? Ohio State has the biggest
That's what I'm saying, Larry. Not listen to me. Up north money is different than down south money.
So
Notre
if
Dame,
we both
Notre-
have big budgets
Notre-
and we bring in
hold on,
talent,
hang
you
on.
can't say your team
Hold
is
on.
better than mine. You can't
Hold on,
say that.
Larry. Notre
They
Dame
can.
for
You
years.
won
Notre Dame for years couldn't get the right players in that system because of their academic standards,
Yep,
and nobody
definitely.
wanted to play up north. We said that for years. 10 years ago,
Yep.
that's what we were saying.
Why you-
Now that the NIL is in play, they will pay these kids to come, and they will come. It's different with the
Yeah.
money now. Okay, so
you think
don't
BYU got
tell
some
me
good?
Ohio State.
Navy.
Oh, it's because of the money. That's why they're going to these schools. Why do you think BYU has all these players now?
Yes.
Not because they want to be Mormons.
Not
No.
because
No,
somebody
they're
wants to
not.
go and to play at Utah. It's because of the money.
Yes. They just paid DJ, what's his name in basketball,
Hey.
crazy money to go there.
Yeah, I know. I was just
Navy-
watching him too. I was just watching him too.
Watching
But
it.
like
Larry,
they got,
I get it. So if I
Larry,
have
Navy-
as much talent as
Navy
you
went-
have, you can't say that your team is better than mine.
Yeah, I can.
Listen, Navy went 9-2. Hold on. Navy went 9-2 They played 2 top 25 teams, and they lost both of those games. They lost both of those games by a combined score of 80-27.
No, they lost.
80.
They beat North Texas. No, they lost to
No,
North Texas.
no, they did
beat
not.
South Florida. They beat South Florida.
They beat North. They lost to North Texas, and they lost to Notre Dame.
Yeah, but they
lost
beat South
points.
Florida. They beat by 3 points.
Oh, you're right. I forgot that they were ranked 24. You're right. But my point being is the 2 legitimate teams they played scored 80 on them. Come on, man. Navy not even in the same conversation. They're not even in the same realm. They're not even in the same universe.
As Missouri?
No. Notre Dame.
Comment real quick.
No, that's what I'm saying. Notre Dame is a better team. Notre Dame has talent.
Can you bring up his last comment? Because I agree with you. I agree with you, Coach. The South does have money, and I'm not disrespecting them. But there's a reason why Nick Saban, once the money's got involved, he bailed. Because he couldn't afford it. He couldn't afford to pay the kids like these up north schools like Ohio State can pay him. There's a reason why he's not coaching anymore, and he's sitting at ESPN because he didn't want to compete in NIL. That's a fact.
Well, he was the only one paying at the time, and when you got competition now, you might want to be
when you're paying him all the money, now he has to share
cheeseburgers. Hey, I got these cheeseburgers over here. My bad. Hey, everybody got Dodge Hellcats over here, and more gold around their neck than a little bit.
We doing predictions for round 1, or are we moving on to a different sport? Serious?
Are you trying to move us on, Brian? Don't be counting me down.
Listen, 48 minutes, man. Come on, give the people what they want.
They want us to talk about Notre Dame. That's what we want to talk about. Listen,
man, you Notre Dame me out.
I think I hit it.
Predictions. We'll do predictions next week because the games start next weekend. So we'll do predictions next week. So come ready to rock and roll. Hopefully, technical difficulties, with Steve are in place so he can be on the joint with us. But overall, I'm looking forward to how these games shake out. Again, I'm pissed off at Notre Dame taking their ball and going home.
And I'm glad the ACC and the Big 12 clocked back, serious. I'm glad they clocked back on them because, that AD. Listen, what bothered me, Larry, is that Notre Dame pulled out of the bowl game, and Marcus Freeman's got to be the face of it. His picture is the one that comes up. His name is the one that's mentioned. It's the AD that did this. The AD pulled this crap, and he should be the one. Pete Bevacetta, whatever, however you say his name, I apologize. He's the one that should be on Front Street, not Marcus Freeman. I'll leave it at that.
You know another reason why I like this, bro, and this is what I'm gonna say, bro. Another reason why I like this, what Notre Dame did, because, like I said, man, sometimes some people have to stand up, and sometimes some people gotta, upset the apple cart, right? And I'm saying it to say because these conferences are a joke, bro. How many times we've seen guys literally leave conferences because they need to go to a bigger conference, and they paying all this money to go to bigger conferences and switch conferences? Like I say, bro, it's the reason why we don't even have what is the Big 12 like we used to have no more. Like, it's the reason why all these teams are now, because they jumping ship to go to the SEC or the Big Ten and all this other stuff, bro. So I'm glad that somebody's like, you know what, screw y'all. I don't want to be in no conference. I don't want to be like, I hate to say it, it's like Bud say, I ain't paying y'all no sanction fee. Take your sanction fee and screw you. I'm good.
Yeah, I ain't paying.
I ain't paying it, dude. Because
like I say, they're not doing it to stand up for the little guy. They doing it for them. They're not doing it.
These teams at the top of the dime, they'll jump conferences in a minute. So I'm gonna say conferences.
They all do. UConn did in basketball. I get it. They jump.
Right now, UConn not even affiliated with a conference right now in football.
No, I mean I said for basketball.
Yeah, I'm saying, but right now they're not even affiliated with a conference. They jumped out of the who's the Big East?
Yeah. No, listen, no. For basketball, they were in the AAC. They had to pay an exit fee, and once the Big East brought them back or was able to bring them back, they bounced on the AAC, and the AAC made them pay for it. You know what I mean? So listen, I agree with you for that, but Notre Dame ain't doing it for them. They're not doing it for the little guy. They're doing it for themselves.
I'll go even further, dude. And this is what I'm gonna say to Brian and Barry. I know y'all said it before. They really want to have these two conferences, right? If you had these two conferences, you only play 12 games, bro. Then now you're going to still have guys in conferences and be like, oh, they didn't play this person. Oh, they didn't play that person. and it's still gonna be a mess. You don't play 72 games of football. It don't happen.
No.
It don't happen. Even
Before
now,
we
you
move
see
off,
some of these big conferences, and they don't play teams every 2 years and stuff like that. So how can you really say who's the true conference champion when they don't even play the other teams in their own conference?
before we move off of college, man, we gotta talk a little bit about the Heisman. We got 4 guys that are up for the Heisman. Speaking of Notre Dame, Jeremiah Love, Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback from Indiana, Diego Pavia, the quarterback from Vanderbilt, and Julian Sain, the quarterback from Ohio State. You guys know I like to spin a little wheel and get lucky, if you will. If I was go down, put some money down, I'm thinking Fernando Mendoza gets the job done. Quarterback from Indiana. Yeah, let's throw this around the room. Steve, you can comment in the chat if you like. Villain, who wins the Heisman, bro?
I want Jeremiah to love to win it because I really love watching him play. He's a really dynamic running back, but I think this is Mendoza's to lose.
I got you. Breaking news, where's your head at, big dog?
Yeah, I actually agree exactly what Barry just said. I think that Love deserves it. You look at the numbers, but I think it's going to be really hard to unseat Mendoza, and I think winning that game versus Ohio State, that kind of signature win, and more specifically, fourth quarter, 3rd and 8, gotta have it type moment on your side of the field. He drops back and completes that 30-yard pass down the sideline. Like it was just a big moment. I feel like he almost clinched it right there. And I almost think saying right there in that moment kind of got removed from contention because you heard his name quite a bit, before that last game.
Yeah. Larry, where'd your head at, big dog?
They always say it's a regular season award, but it's really not. They still look at stuff like that, and I think that last win for Mendoza, that's gonna be what's called. And I'll go even further. We know how these media members are. They petty. They what's called it. And by Notre Dame taking their ball and going home, they gonna probably Love gonna probably finish like 3rd or 4th because they petty, and they gonna probably be like, you know what, we can't hurt the university, so you know who we gonna probably hurt. The kid. They gonna probably make up some story and be like, oh, well, he didn't play in a conference championship game. And, oh, the last game we saw him and this. But hands down, he's been the best player of the year. But it's gonna probably go to Mendoza. You know how it is. It's all unless you do something special like Travis Hunter or something like that. It's really a quarterback award.
I mean, we've seen receivers win it before, so I mean,
you got to be all world to be the quarterback, dude. Troy Smith won a Heisman, bro. You got to. Dude, what's his name? Danny Wolford won the Heisman, bro.
Batman won the Heisman. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
You gotta have
won it, right?
Yeah. You gotta have to unseat a quarterback and win the Heisman, bro. You have to have like a out of this world season. You like, if it wasn't,
bro. I mean,
you gotta have an Ashton Genty season to be the quarterback, bro.
I'll put it like this. If Fernando Mendoza didn't go into that Big Ten championship game and outduel saying the way he did, I can make a legitimate case for Jeremiah Love. Legitimately.
Dude, but I'll go
and never will bat an eye.
Dude, this is why you know it's a quarterback award. Staying with all that talent on there. He's been, I hate to say that word, but y'all know where I'm going. He's been a really good game manager. He really has. He's been a really good game manager, but he's 4th in Heisman voting or something they were saying on the last poll.
But we all know every award is a quarterback award now, Larry, right? Like,
dude, like you say,
NFL MVP, Heisman is a quarterback award now.
Yeah, it's a quarterback award. Like I say, Jeremiah Smith is not even invited to the Wisconsin, bro. It's a quarterback award.
It used to be you had to be a really special quarterback to win the Heisman Award, right? Like over a running back. Like really, you had running backs.
I mean, it has shifted, but I respectfully reject the idea that it's simply just a quarterback award when we've seen.
Oh, it is.
And recent years, wide receivers and running backs won it.
Okay, but serious, what wide receiver or running back who did not have a damn near record-setting season won the Heisman? You have to do something. You have to do something that they utterly cannot turn you away as a running back or a wide receiver to win the award, bro. Dude, I wish CK was on it, but I'm a historian, bro. Dude,
I want to argue with you, but I can't because I'm looking at it now. Travis did it in 2024. Then it was Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Bryce Young. Those are 3 quarterbacks.
Derrick Henry.
Devontae Smith did it in 2020. Then it was Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
2015.
Johnny Manziel has a Heisman Award.
Yeah, dude, think about how many
Newton,
quarterbacks on good teams.
You may be on something. Mark Cuban got one in 2009. Damn, freaking Bradford won in 2008.
Yeah.
My God. Quarterbacks that just been good on good teams and they won.
Yeah, I think you may be on to something here.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart has one. Looking at this thing,
I can say Reggie Bush had to have a out of this world season. Dude, didn't they get one to Matt Leinart? And Matt Leinart
had a 2004.
Yeah.
Oh, Matt Leinart was just throw the ball to Reggie Bush.
Yeah.
Matt Leinart was like, you know what? Let me just throw it to one of these guys and let them run 80 yards and give me a Heisman. Thank you.
Your boy Jameis had one in 2013.
Yeah, Jameis was good. He was really good.
Stolen crabs and all, man.
Stolen crab legs and all, bro.
But it's a quarterback war, and like I said, that was a signature win versus number 1 team. He got it.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't think it was that open and shut case until I look at the list here.
Yeah, bro, you got to be a running back, and you got to at least break the 2,200 yard mark. Yeah, or break the close to 30 touchdowns rushing or something. You got to do something out of this world as a running back. You got to be a receiver that literally dominates every game to win a Heisman.
Yeah, that's insane. Before we move on, man, I wanted to give you guys the opportunity to kind of break down a little bit what you saw from Championship Week. Villain, get on where you fit in, my guy. Where's your head at?
I mean, Ohio State, Indiana, even though it wasn't a high-scoring game, it was worth its
It was beautiful.
It was really a good football game. If you love football, I liked watching. It was crazy because I felt like the Texas Tech BYU game was going to be good, but I wasn't really sure. And then Texas Tech's defense is just so good. They're right there with Ohio State's defense. So that was something to behold. And then Georgia and Alabama. It's something when those two lock up, but Georgia, you could just see their defense has just been on another level too. Ever since that last Alabama game. So their linebackers have been playing well. They really get after the quarterback now. I think they found their pass rushers. And so, I mean, for me, Indiana, Ohio State, I think the Tide, I thought Indiana was going to be out of it. I think it was the first play when Mendoza got just walloped.
He got whopped. Yeah.
He got his balloon popped. When he came back in the game, he lifted that team. And I think, but people have to understand.
And then they lost the receiver 2 plays later.
Yeah, absolutely. But people have to understand, Indiana is a good football team. Indiana is a really good football team. If you hadn't watched it, if you didn't watch that game against Oregon, I think they have better skilled talent this year on the offensive side than they did last year. But the defense was good last year. It's got better this year. That's a good team. That's not your father's Indiana team. That's a good football team. They beat a really good Ohio State team. So congratulations to them.
I think the thing that kind of stood out to me, honestly, was watching James Madison beat the race off of Troy. I live here in Harrisonburg area now, and so a lot of my friends that I've made since I've relocated, big James.
You got friends?
I got friends. I got friends.
You got one or two.
How quick that team is, right? Serious?
So what?
No, I was just saying, the GMU, you're talking, how quick. I didn't realize how fast that team was.
They're very quick. And the thing I like about it is their old head coach is the head coach of Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying so they just kept the program rolling, and the fact that both of them are now in the playoff is good.
Sig deserves all the credit in the world, man.
Yeah,
Mm.
this Duke UVA game was wild.
It was wild, but I didn't watch it because I was locked in on Ohio State, Indiana.
Yeah,
I'll be
I
honest.
mean, I had the split screen going, so
I did. I was thinking of Larry. I had my Swiss. I was like, man, screw this. I just want to watch Indiana Ohio State.
So, other than that, man, I enjoyed what I was able to watch. Tulane, North Texas. Tulane
Crazy.
solidified themselves. That game was wild. For a while, I thought Tulane, was going to run away and hide, and late in that ball game, things got a little tight. But the only game that again had me shaking my head was Georgia Alabama. Like these Alabama Crimson Tide did not show up to party.
Ty Simpson has lost it.
Last month. Yeah, but again, when we had the conversation a couple weeks ago, he was the Heisman favorite.
Yeah, is he still in your top 5? Breaking news.
Draftable quarterbacks or Heisman?
Quarterbacks.
He'll be in the top 5, but he was never in my top 2. Like I know most people had him number 1 for no other reason than I don't like a starting quarterback coming out that has less than 10 starts. So you got to remember, like he sat behind, like even Dante Moore, he had some experience at UCLA before he came here. But he's only got 17 starts. For me, Mendoza is the clear number 1 guy just because of that. I actually like Moore's skill set better. I love his deep ball accuracy and his arm strength. But I'm with you. When I look at Ty Moore, I got to tell you, and I know this is horrible to say, I'm not trying to jinx the guy. I kind of see like early days David Carr from Houston. Did you see the way like Georgia wasn't even on him, and like he looked like Happy Feet back there? He looked like Mambo from Happy Feet. All of a sudden, he just gets real anxious in the pocket after you hit him a couple times.
He gets really jittery, and he was very inaccurate. Ty Simpson,
very much so.
Ty Simpson was throwing it on a dot early in the season, and in the last 4 or 5 weeks, like he's not seeing the windows. He's not throwing with confidence, which is making the ball sail. He throws it low, like the low throws out of the back, like the swing passes and the quick out of the backfield passes. He's doing that at people's feet.
Yeah, he's throwing it. Yeah, he's throwing it at his feet. Yeah, he just
doesn't look good.
I feel like with him, like for me, I kind of view him in like a West Coast system, but he is very much a rhythm passer, right? Like if you can cut off read 1 and 2, like he's gonna struggle, right? If you can cut off the first read or 2, all of a sudden you can almost see him go into meltdown mode. His mechanics, lower body kind of shift. He doesn't, always have his weight underneath him when he throws. He kind of throws off his back foot. So yeah, I watched that game a second time actually earlier today. This last game versus the first time, and he looked like a completely different quarterback. Did not look like the same guy.
Yeah, he did.
Hey, breaking news. You know what I don't like about him from an NFL standpoint, and it took the right coach and the right I'm gonna say the right game plan for him, but he's only like 6'2" and like 200 pounds.
Yeah,
like
think about it. That's like all the guys. That's like all the guys. Larry.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but in
like if
NFL,
you look at a full draft class. Go ahead, brother.
No, I was just saying he's built like a wide receiver, and I don't know, man. In the NFL, man, taking those hits and you 6'2" and your offensive linemen are all like 6'5", 6'6". Like most of those guys struggle for a little bit to adjust to throwing over the taller linemen, bro. And it's just like I said, you saw it with Bryce Young, even though Bryce Young, he's not 6 feet, even though people say he's 6 feet. But you see the shorter quarterbacks always kind of struggle going into the NFL.
Yeah, man.
I will tell you. No, I didn't mean to cut you off. I think you were going to come to me and ask me. So go ahead, serious. I'll
No. I mean, honestly, I was going to wrap up the conversation and move, but if you want to, tap in, go ahead.
I was just going to say real quick, guys, the one thing that I love about doing the amount of film breakdown that I do is I do get to see a lot of these little hidden gems ahead of time. Like if you remember, Sirius, when we were talking last week, I told you, I said, listen, I think Indiana can win this game, but they're going to have to run the ball and they're going to have to run it right at them. They're going to have to run north and south, and they're going to have to average about 4 yards a carry. And what did they do? They ran right at them, and they averaged 4 yards a carry. That's how you have to beat Ohio State. They're small and fast. And and the only reason I bring this up is,
and you got to make some throws.
I'm not saying that absolutely, but I was going to say I'm not saying that they're going to get upset. But if you look at the teams in their kind of quote unquote bracket, there's some big offensive line, and there's some teams that can run the ball. So it'll be interesting. Let's keep an eye on Ohio State once we know who their second round matchup is.
Yeah, it should be relatively fun to watch.
Aaron, let me jump in real quick, and this is another reason why, like with the whole college football playoff and all other stuff that's going on, we're not reporting it. We're not saying it's true. But dude, why am I looking? And they're talking about rumors that Bryce Underwood might be hitting the portal. Like, this is why I'm like, man, what is this? What is going on in college right now?
Really?
Really? Is he not getting this check? He's not getting his bread.
His checks is bouncing.
These dudes hit the portal, bro, because something don't go right with them, or they are like, whatever. Like even in the college football playoffs, dude, how many of these dudes are gonna sit out? Like Barry said, how many dudes are gonna sit out because they're hitting the portal? I can tell you right now, Mississippi, watch leading up to their game, it's gonna be some dudes that's like, oh, they hitting the portal or they going into the draft. Like that's the other part where I'm like, man, this stuff is just they gotta fix this stuff. It's just too much.
I'm all for the players, getting some bread because they're out there busting their behind and others are getting paid off for them. But like, I don't know, man. I mean, there has to be a happy medium somewhere to where it works. And according to what Steve just said, Love, it was already hinted at sitting out anyway. So it's going to be interesting to see what takes place. But I wanted to give us enough time to transition and talk about the NFL really quickly. Week 14 has wrapped up. I'm gonna say this: we have 4 teams on bye. Panthers, actually, 3/4 of you guys were on bye. 49ers, Panthers, Giants, and the Patriots.
What a great weekend! I didn't have to watch the Giants.
Yeah,
what a great weekend.
You won't hit the thing.
That's a W. That's a W.
They beat the bye. They beat the bye.
They beat the bye. You
maybe not. We'll
win
see.
this week, though. Y'all winning this week.
Like literally, I woke up Sunday and I was like, raindrops keep falling on my head. I was so happy, dude. Like you have no idea.
My man went to church with a skip, came home.
Skip, you know what I mean?
My man tied his tie. Good on Sunday. But Week 14 started out with an offensive shootout with the Lions and Cowboys. I'm not going to run through all of these games unless we need to, but I wanted you guys to be able to talk about what you wanted to talk about, and that'll probably eat up the rest of our time. Breaking news, man. Where's your head at, big dog?
I'll just keep it pretty short and simple. I think week 14 provided a lot of clarity. We talked last week about Dallas possibly being a playoff team. I think at this point, 6-7-1, they're out. You got to have 9 wins right now to be the 7th seed in the NFC. It's a tough conference to make it, and I just don't see enough teams, especially with Detroit now having the tie break over them, being able to kind of get in. So I think you can officially eliminate them. You had all these teams that really had shots at playoffs and were grasping at straws. To see a team like Baltimore, and I know we're going to get into this, but I just got to say, you guys keep talking about Aaron Rodgers, but I think the more egregious call is the Isaiah Likely, like both feet down, goes to take another step, and then the ball gets knocked out. Like, it's one thing if you make contact when he's in the air, but the rule is if you don't make contact, he comes down and then you hit him. That should have been a touchdown. 100%. 100%. So I'm just going to say, going through these games, seeing teams like New Orleans Saints beating Tampa Bay, it's just egregious. You're at home. You got to take care of business. I know you're playing against a divisional foe, so I take that into consideration, but you're also fighting for your playoff life. It's I'm sorry to hear about your boy Barry Danny Dimes with the ACL. I hear they're going to be pulling old man Philip Rivers out of retirement
He's
in order
gone
to
today.
he's to lead this team. But I got to tell you, I don't know if I believe in superstition, but Larry, you let Corey know that since Indy spent all that money and spent those 2 first-round picks to bring in all this extra talent at the deadline, I'm not sure the Colts have won. So sometimes status quo and keeping chemistry intact works. The Commanders might be the worst team in history to go from amazing to horrible. I've never seen a team like the Bill Parcells Jets. Like I've never seen a team be so good one year and then so horrific the next year. Like not be able to do anything, not run the ball, can't tackle, can't play defense, can't pass. They don't do anything well.
I mean, I gotta tap on that real quick. The Giants, when we won the Super Bowl in 1990, the 25-year anniversary of the Super Bowl. Next year we were terrible. Ray Hanley.
Buffalo Bills did come back, but I do got to just give a shout out to Burrow. The Bengals are absolutely unwatchable, and then he comes back, and all of a sudden they're a decent team again. If they could get him any help whatsoever on defense. Any help. He scored 34 and lost. Any help whatsoever, this team would be good. And the final thing I'm going to mention is I think we can officially bury Kansas City. Give them their flowers, put them in the grave. Let's start. I'll give each of you a shovel. People keep saying, well, mathematically, they're still in it. No, man, they're done. They can't run the ball. They can't protect Mahomes, and the defense just isn't quite where it used to be. And no disrespect to Houston, they're not a juggernaut. All right, and their defense is good, but they're not a juggernaut. That's a game that you had to win and you didn't. And I've already mentioned this, but I'm gonna mention it again. The Eagles, that was the ugliest lot. I've never watched a game and thought a team was going to win the entire time, and they lose in a grander fashion than that. I never thought the Chargers are going to actually win until overtime.
I didn't know
never. Yeah, no, I'm saying even with all the turnovers, I was like, Philly's got this. No, you know what? Jalen Hurts. I'm not sure what happened between last year and this year. He don't look like the same dude. He does not look like the same dude. And Larry, I'm just going to say the winner of Week 14 was the Niners. You look at who lost. Chicago. You look at Eagles. You know what? Listen, we're like the Jeffersons, baby. Moving on up. Over to you guys.
I gotta say, this iteration of the Kansas City Chiefs is over. So just like Tom Brady had a couple lean years in between his Super Bowl runs, like when the Colts finally figured it out and they were running the AFC, and then the Broncos got there, the Ravens got there. This iteration of the Chiefs is done. They got the quarterback. They need to rebuild around him. So they're going to have a lean year or two, and then they'll rebuild around them. I think 6 and 7, they're absolutely finished. They can't win the division. I think they lost any tiebreaker they had. They lost to the Jaguars. They lost to the Titans. I mean the Texans. Sorry. They don't have many tiebreakers left. So they're on par with the Dolphins, who quietly have won 3-4 straight.
They won 4 straight.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree with you, but Jalen Hurts is just not that good. He really isn't. I know, Larry, you're gonna at me. I know you're gonna come for me. I get it, but he won a Super Bowl, great. But honestly, I'm watching a guy that can't read a defense. He can't. If he doesn't get his behind pushed, he's not doing anything. And they could say, no, well, Saquon Barkley can't run the ball. I don't need to do anything but load the box against him and force Jalen Hurts to beat me, because all he does is overthrow guys or throw it at the other team. It's not the OC at a point. They're predictable in offense. Their offense is very predictable. On first down, they're going to run this play. On second down, they're going to run this play. Third and long, they're going to run this play. They're very predictable, but you're not
the offensive coordinator.
You're not give. What's that?
Wouldn't you put that on Kevin Patullo though?
Yeah, but I mean, if you had a good quarterback, the plays that they're calling are the guys are open. He's missing them. Guys are open, even though the play calling is predictable, and Jalen Hurts is missing them. I watched the Giants game against them. He missed so many throws. Like, look at the Cowboys game. He missed a lot of guys wide open. Like, you know, you got Brown open in a slant in the middle, and what are you looking at? You're looking at the out route and getting that picked off by the Giants. Like, that's par for the course. The Bears, they're a good team. I don't know if they're ready.
The Bears are last year's Commanders.
Yeah, I think Caleb Williams is silencing those critics. He's making really good throws. He's doing a lot of good things. I think they're a year away, and hopefully it's not a year away like the Commanders, because the next year they're absolute trash. But I think the Bears, if anything, they proved they can play with a team like the Packers. And I was happy to see that. But yeah, and Danny Dimes, non-contact, man. Non-contact. So it sucks. You feel for him because he had the non-contact with the Giants with the ACL, and now this with the Achilles. You hate to see it. It's really unfortunate. You know, that was a team that was probably everybody thought would go to the Super Bowl. Now they're completely lost. It's unfortunate, but
they haven't won a game in I think a while.
Since the trade deadline. I don't think they've won since the trade deadline.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, we popped them, and then they've been wrong. They've been losing ever since. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not like Danny Dimes was playing great football before that either. But you know, it's unfortunate to see. And I don't know about you, but I think right now, to me, the best team in the NFC are the Rams.
Yeah.
I think the best two teams in the NFL are the Rams and the Seahawks. So we've had like not even close the toughest division in football, and I think it's playing out. And you know what? I give Houston's defense a ton of props, and I love what the Rams have done.
That offense
but I
is
think
horrible.
people sleep on the Great Northwest, the Great Northwest, and I'm telling you, I think the Seahawks have the best defense in the league.
I think they fly. They're really good. And I got to say one thing, and then I know Larry is chomping at the bit. The Bucs are going to lose this division. I don't like what I've seen from them the last month.
Yeah.
They're not playing good football at all. Baker Mayfield is trying to do too much. And I really think the Panthers are coming. Bryce Young is
unacceptable loss to the Saints on Sunday. That was unacceptable.
Unacceptable. They had every chance to win that game, and they didn't. Unacceptable. At home. The Panthers are coming. They're coming.
Yeah. I mean, Larry, talk to me, man. Where's you at?
Barry, I'm not coming for you, bro. The thing is, like, for me.
No, I'm not saying you're coming for me, brother. I love you.
Oh. The best.
I know you wanted to get in where you fit. I know you know I could go on a tangent. You know what I mean?
Man, the best thing out of this weekend, aside from the Niners basically moving up without even playing a game, is the fact that the Cowboys are dead. Cowboys are dead. As bad as the Eagles are, they're gonna probably win 3 out of the next 5 games and still take the division. Cowboys have to win the division to make the playoffs.
And they probably will, because the Eagles are playing that bad.
No, dude.
I mean, here's the thing. The Eagles this week, they play the Raiders.
Yes. Win.
Yeah,
nothing's guaranteed with them right now. They're horrid.
No. Don't start talking about nothing's guaranteed, bro. Don't start that. Don't start it. Look, they're doing it. The Raiders are that bad. The Raiders are that bad. The Raiders are that bad.
The Cowboys play the Vikings and the Chargers the next 2 weeks. If they get by those 2 weeks, we can have a conversation, because the last 2 weeks is the Commanders and the Giants. But I don't think they get through the next 2 weeks without a loss.
I don't know. Larry, do you really think the Cowboys can beat the Vikings?
Yes.
I don't think they can beat the Chargers. I think they can beat the Chargers.
I think they can beat the Chargers.
Where's that game?
Win out and see what happens. They basically got to win out and see what happens, because they have to win the division. Because there's gonna be a 9 or 10 team in the NFC that does not make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And
If the
right now, the
Eagles took
Cowboys
care
are
of
what,
business and won
7-8?
that game, then the Cowboys would be out. But they have
It-
kept them in the
Yeah.
But
conversation.
they have the easier schedule. They have the easier schedule.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna say that the Cowboys are dead. I will say this, Barry. Regardless of what Jalen Hurts does or doesn't do, AJ Brown, for all his antics, two plays. If he
In the end zone, man.
if he doesn't drop that pass that gets intercepted and they kick the field goal and he catches the touchdown, they win the game.
Yeah.
They literally still
Yeah.
win the game with all the turnovers, all the stuff that happened. They still win the game, right? And remember, I said it before, dude. Jalen Hurts, he was never that all-will thrower the ball. When he was at Alabama, he basically was like game manager 101. He got better when he went to Oklahoma, and I think that's what he got drafted on. But with Jalen Hurts, my thing with Jalen Hurts is this, right? It's the OC too. It's a combination of both.
Yep.
And I don't know if you guys have noticed about Jalen Hurts, and you could tell on that last interception he threw. Sometimes Jalen Hurts runs the play. If the play is designed to go to a certain person, he runs that play and he throws that ball to that person. Right?
That's bad quarterback play.
I'm saying, but he does that. He does that. If it's a 3-yard out run and it's supposed to go to him, he will throw it.
Are you defending?
No, I'm not.
Are you trying to contradict what Villain said?
No. I'm just saying that that's what he does. He does that. But if the game is on the line, I don't want the ball going to Jahan Dotson. That ball should have never been even going to him. But the major problem that I see with the Eagles is Sirianni, is the offensive coordinator, because Sirianni said he's more involved now and all this stuff. And
I think
and Barry, you the Vikings fan. I mean, you the Giants fan, right? This whole season, I probably, because I get a lot of Eagles games here. Saquon Barkley, even though he ran for 2,000 yards last year, he had probably I think like another like 300-400 yards receiving. They don't even line him up to run routes. They have no motion on that offense. They don't try to get bad matchups. They literally just go in and they come out in whatever set they run and they run it.
The issue with the Eagles is not play calling. The issue with the Eagles is really not Jalen Hurts. That offensive line is not what it was.
It's both. It's the line, but they do nothing to trick. They do nothing to trick.
It's a perfect storm.
Yeah.
It's a perfect storm. One of the big problems I'll give Jalen Hurts this. He's last 3 years had 3 different OCs.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
that's a big problem.
And he's about to have another one, because I mean, I don't think Kevin Patullo comes back next year, but
I think they run him out of town.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you got 3 voices in your ear, and like me and Breaking News, we Niners fan, dude. Kyle has schemed up all kinds of stuff. Like Kyle
Coach of the year, dude.
plays.
He ain't gonna win it, but I'm telling you, Coach of the year.
But like OCs matter, bro. OCs really do matter. Like when you look at the Eagles offense, bro, if I was playing defense, I could probably tell you what they're gonna run 90% of the time. It's no tricks to their offense. They run nothing to fool you. Like it's almost like watching paint dry, dude. It's bad, and I think that's what's showing up. That defense is actually playing really good to win them games, which is the even more egregious part about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is, and like you say, Kansas City's done. Man, dude. Hey, as much crap as they go ahead, Barry. Go ahead, Brian.
No, I was just gonna say, I think you guys are on to something though. Like, as much as it's easy to pile on somebody that's bad, that's playing poorly, I do.
All right, he's having technical difficulty.
Everybody's having technical
difficulty.
Hey, but
hey, yo, phone bill, Brian.
Right.
I think, like I said, I think it's the OC in what's called it. Just like serious y'all OC, bro, dude. Hey, look,
I can't stand him.
Bro, that was a touchdown. That was a touchdown in my book. That was an interception. That was a touchdown and that was an interception. Hey, the Steelers got the win. I'm not gonna take nothing away from it, but I will say this, and I think I put it in the chat. Lamar Jackson's hurt. Lamar Jackson
is absolutely hurt. 100% hurt. He is not healthy.
He's not healthy.
But they were losing so many games, Larry, that he had to come back before I think he would have came back.
Yeah, like even when he runs, like you know, Lamar Jackson is basically probably the best running quarterback, hands down, ever.
Mm-hmm.
And when you see him run a 3-yard run and run out of bounds with his wide open field, he's hurt. He's hurt.
Well, I mean, he had a rushing touchdown Sunday. That was the first rushing touchdown he's had since week 2.
And that's
the first time I actually saw him try to run it, right, Larry?
Yeah.
But it was like a walk-in though. Like normally Lamar, you get Lamar angle, he's gone. Like he will take that angle on you, and he's not even doing that. You could tell he's hurt. But like I said, we'll see what happens. You know, Sears is the expert in that division. You never know what's gonna happen, and it shakes out the way it shakes out. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see what happens. I'm proud of these Texans, bro. These Texans have clawed their way back into it.
Give them credit. Give them credit.
Hey, the Colts. Say what you want to say, dude. They were 8-2. They were in first place,
right? Were they 7-1?
7-1.
Yeah, 8-1. They might miss the entire playoffs, bro. That's nuts. That's
I mean,
that's
life
crazy.
comes at you fast, bro. Life comes at you fast in this league, man.
So this
before I
go
back,
clean it up. This is where I was going to finish it up at, man. The NFL, and I get it. We all have 3 different teams on here, but NFL, they have to put some money. I don't care if it's the field, if it's the training, if it's the practices. These injuries, what 3-4 years now? Injuries. They have to put some money to see why are guys having all of these injuries. These like Danny Dimes. How many guys have we seen that you're running and you blow an Achilles? You plant and you blow an Achilles? Like it takes away from the actual product, because we're seeing now where guys are basically, and we know it's levels of football. If you're a practice squad player, and I'm not saying all practice squad players are trash, but if you're a practice squad player and you're starting, what does that say? That's a lot of injuries. A lot of injuries, and we're missing out on like truly talented guys playing meaningful football right now.
And I think that the league has made a vote, or they're going to make a vote to say that NFL teams have to pick from a set list of surfaces to use in their stadiums. And I think
your Giants got to get rid of theirs altogether.
That's what I mean. It leans towards the Jets and Giants at MetLife Stadium, but there's like they're trimming down the list of approved surfaces that you can install in your stadium.
Yeah, I mean, these injuries are tough on a lot of guys, and I feel bad for Danny Dimes, and so many others that have gone down due to injury. But before we clean it up, man, I'm gonna address a couple of different things. First and foremost, Dan Quinn and the Commanders are single-handedly trying to destroy another career. Jaden Daniels should never been in the game. Period. In the sentence. Like these guys were mathematically eliminated a while ago. The fact that you put him in this game and had him in harm's way, crazy. Shout out to Zach Ertz. That hit was insane.
That was a nasty hit, man.
Yes, that was insane to look at. So shout out to him. Hopefully he has a speedy recovery. Probably a career ender for him with as much as knowledge as he has on him. I'm gonna address two games, and then we'll keep it pushing. This Pittsburgh Steelers Baltimore Ravens game played out exactly how I thought it would. I didn't think there'll be this many points. But if you look at the history between these two teams, it's always one possession. It always comes down to something crazy. I'm gonna be the first one to say I thought the Isaiah Likely catch was a touchdown. I said it Sunday. I said it Monday. You know me, I'm on different publications and trash talk pages and all the things. So I've said it all over the place. To much to Larry's chagrin, I did think that Aaron Rodgers salvaged that and tip interception. But the thing for me was the simple fact that for long periods of time of that ball game, the Baltimore Ravens forgot who the hell they were. I don't understand why. If Lamar Jackson is indeed hurt, you drop him back as many times as you drop him back. Put the ball in Derrick Henry's gut, let him run. You know what I'm saying? We lost so many men due to nutrition and concussions and things of that nature. Derrick Henry is a weapon, and the Baltimore Ravens, for whatever reason, don't want to use him in critical moments of ball games. Explain that to me. It was good to see the offense open it up a little bit. DK Metcalf turned back the clock, went 7 for 148. A-Rod looked like he was just moving and grooving for the first time in a long time, almost had 300 yards passing. I loved all of that. So I'm looking forward to seeing where we go. We got the Monday night game next week against the Miami Dolphins. So we'll see if we can start stacking these wins here. The Cincinnati Bengals and Buffalo Bills. I mean, it was a picture perfect game, man. We love this time of weather. We love this time of year for these snow games. The Bengals looked like they was going to go on a run, and then, as per usual, the defense let them down again. So I think the Bengals lost it more than the Bills won it, if you will. But Kevin Stefanski and these Cleveland Browns. I don't understand. And again, I said this to you guys in the chat. And I'm gonna come out here and say it publicly. I was one of the guys that honestly stood up for the Cleveland Browns when they decided to not play Shedeur Sanders. At this point, pulling him off the field for any reason is disrespectful. It's disrespectful. I've never seen a coach single-handedly try to sabotage another individual in my life. I've been around this game for a long period of time. I've played it. I've coached it. You guys know me pretty well, and I think all of us here, we watch it so much. We're in our sleep talking formations and coverages. You know what I'm saying? What I saw in that Titans Cleveland Browns game at home, the Browns were at home, mind you, was insane. My man went for 364 and 3.
4.
4.
He ran
well,
one.
Yeah, he ran one. Yeah, he ran one.
Yeah, 2 for 3, ran for 1.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand why. And then now, 24 hours later, he's named your starter for the rest of the year. We were talking about it a lot in the chat. And to be honest with you, I want to talk about it here, for nothing else, for the content that I can cut up later. Shedeur Sanders, I apologize. Kevin Stefanski and this organization needs to be fired, to borrow Chandlerism, into the effing sun.
It's not the organization, because they're the ones that want to play him. It's Kevin Stefanski that's burying this kid. The GM drafted him. The GM wanted him. The owner drafted him. The owner wanted him. Kevin Stefanski didn't want anything to do with him. Go ahead.
Hold on. Although you are right, they did draft him. Let's not forget, or let's not overlook the fact that they drafted Dylan Gabriel ahead of him. And if Dylan Gabriel looks, let's just say, like a D- quarterback, and Shedeur looks like a B+ quarterback, that also makes them look bad. So there's a little jockeying going on. I'm not saying you're right, Barry, but what I'm saying is there's a reason why they were hesitant to put Shedeur in the beginning, and now that he's playing and doing pretty well, I think that there's still some apprehension, because there's still egg on your face. Because what you're seeing, if you go back and you look at a lot of the media and a lot of the information that was being released both in preseason and at training camp, a lot of it led itself to Shedeur Sanders is the better of the two quarterbacks, right? Even though Dylan Gabriel just basically got anointed right off the rip because he was drafted in the second round. You're number 2. I mean, and let's not forget, you're talking about a team not going to make the playoffs, and this is a team that that was going to trade, that traded for wanted to trade for a quarterback. So there is a lot of things wrong in this organization, but the reason why bad organizations stay bad is because A, they don't know how to take care of their players, and B, they want to play the blame game as opposed to play the winning game. Because Here's who I feel bad for. I feel bad for the fans. People can't remember back when the dog pound was actually good, when they had a running back named Mac that would literally run right through a brick wall for them, right? Or when they had Ozzie Newsome, and I'm talking about senior. Like, people don't remember the quote unquote
Otar.
good old days. So I'm just saying, like, this team has been bad for so long. Like, Raiders fans are like, oh, we've been bad. Like, no, man, you're not even in the same category. Like, you don't even go, you know what? If you want to do yourself an interesting favor, go look up since Vinny Testaverde, I believe it's since 2001. Go look up how many starting quarterbacks the Cleveland Browns have had in the last, I believe it's 22 seasons or 23 seasons. Do yourself a favor. It'll blow your mind. And yes, by far, they're the number one team as far as quarterbacks over that time that have started games. That is the problem. They have no loyalty. They have no plan. And you know what? Like they said, there's nothing wrong with drafting multiple
42.
quarterbacks. There you go. 42 quarterbacks in 22 seasons. So part of the problem is, how can you have a plan? And think about how many guys were drafted, 42 quarterbacks, how many guys were drafted with a top 5 pick that got a little bit of extended play, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. They don't give anybody a run to see what they can do, right? For people who Dylan Gabriel fans are like, hey man, he only got 2 or 3 games. Yeah, you're right. Well, they tried to give Shador Sanders 2 or 3 games, but he played well, and they got basically locked in at this point. People have seen enough to be like, that looks a whole lot better than what it looked like at the beginning of the year. So part of the problem is they've created this situation, right? They've created this situation from the very beginning when you draft multiple young guys. Like, people like to have a lot of quarterbacks, but they don't realize you can't groom multiple guys to be your heir apparent, right? If you're the heir apparent, Barry, and I'm behind you, what does that make me? I'm the heir apparent to your heir apparent. So part of the problem is the way they conduct business, and I'm just going to leave it at that, boys. Cleveland is a bad organization because they don't understand. And you know what? He has more money, but I'll even throw the Cowboys in there. Same thing. You spend $60 million on a quarterback that's probably not even a top 10 guy. You trade away your best player because you quote unquote don't want to pay him. And now what? Now what? Okay, well, we can score points, but now we can't stop anybody defensively. Everybody's going to score 45 on us, and if we can outscore them, we can win. It's basically the NFC version of the Bengals. Have fun.
Brian, but I'll say this, and we both Niners fans, bro. Dude, you know what you got in certain players because you in the practices, you see what they can and can't do, and you know if you need to even get that guy an opportunity. Remember, we Joe Montana, for all he did, he got moved on for Steve Young. They knew what they had in Steve Young, so they knew what they knew what they had in Shador and Kevin Stefanski. He did not want to play him. He clearly said he wanted this to be a red shirt year. Why would you redshirt a quarterback to not see what he has, knowing that they've been talking about all year? Next year's draft, they're gonna draft a quarterback. Why would you not want to see what that guy has? You clearly you try to sabotage that guy, right?
Right.
And
but they're not going to draft Larry because they still pay Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, but I'm saying they don't need to.
Who may come back and play next year?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think Barry. I think that not you, Barry, but Barry. I think his plan was, if I got a quarterback now, I got 2 first-round draft picks next year. I don't need to draft a quarterback. I can build around this quarterback if I know I got that guy, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna leave that to y'all, right? And I'll go even further. The NFL, dude. Have any of y'all? I know Brian, you probably seen it. Did y'all see how bad JJ McCarthy pro day was?
Yep.
Still got drafted. What, 12th? Mm-hmm. If you look at all the rookies who played this year, Shador looks like he should have been a first-round draft pick. He actually looks better than Cam Ward.
I mean, we can sit here honestly.
The only guy I would say better, and I mean, this might be a little flaw to Barry, is Dart.
Yeah, Dart.
And I told you, everybody was surprised when I said, hey, I think he's number 2 in this class. But he's the only guy because of the athleticism. People always associate Shador with athleticism, but he's like sneaky athletic. He's not actually athletic like Dart.
No,
But he's
no, but
he
he's got
appear.
natural talent, natural athletic.
Yeah,
ability.
what Shador Sanders has
He has
that doesn't grow on trees, it's not even the brains. You know what it is? And I'll tell you, it's something that most quarterbacks don't have. It's the fortitude. It's the toughness. He will stand in the pocket and take a shot right to the chin to be able to give his guy time to get down the field and complete a 20-yard out. There are so many quarterbacks that when that guy's bearing down on them is going to duck their shoulder and just throw and not even follow through. That is such a skill. Everybody talks about like elite traits, and it's like, oh man, this guy's got Josh Allen's arm. Like, okay, that's great. It's great to have a big arm. Oh man, that guy processes, like Brock Purdy. Like, that's great. It's great to be able to process. But if you're unwilling to stand in there and you're unwilling to take a shot and you're unwilling to have that kind of moxie, you're not going to make it in the NFL. See David Carr. Like, literally,
Brian.
It doesn't matter how good a quarterback you are, you got to have that moxie. And that kid has that. And if for no other reason, he is going to ingratiate himself to the Cleveland fan base.
Hey, Brian, I'll go even further, dude. Remember, that's one thing I said. I said he's not afraid to make the big throw. People thought it was just
100%.
Travis Hunter. He's not afraid to make the big throw, right? I've seen about four or five Cleveland games this year, right? Dylan Gabriel would not even throw the ball past 8 yards. You know what Shador came out?
Yeah,
You know what Shador
afraid
came
to do
out?
it.
He's literally completed the longest pass in like the last 3 years from a Cleveland quarterback.
Yeah.
Bro, like I say, dude, that put like this, whether it was Stefanski, whether it was anybody else in that organization, but whoever kept him from being, I'm not saying you got to be the week one starter, because you could have came in with Joe Flacco, got him ready, because that was egregious on Kevin Stefanski's part that guy wasn't even ready to play and he was the backup. They need to be fired. They need to be fired. They need to be fired.
I mean, it's like a lot of what we saw with Jackson Dart when he comes on the field for the Giants. He lifts everybody. He lifts the defense. He lifts the fans. He lifts the offense. When Russell has to go back in the game, you're like,
it's a different energy.
Yeah, it's a different energy when Shador is out there as opposed to Dylan Gabriel. And I don't want to lose the fact we can talk about the sabotage and how they handled the draft and all that good stuff. And Brian, you're right. Larry, you're right. But Kevin Stefanski should not be coaching this team come next year. And it's because you have a chance to tie the ball game. You have two point conversion plays, and you take your quarterback off the field and run a ridiculous play that you think works. Like, what's the play calling about? What is that? What is that play call? It's stupid, right?
Stupid.
There's been other questionable offensive play calls that Kevin Stefanski has made, even with Shador in the game, that make you scratch your head. Even going back to the game where he played against the Ravens, when his first action in an NFL game. So Kevin Stefanski, I think you said it serious in our chat. Like, how is his key card working? Like, I think that's a joke that his key card is working right now. Yeah. And, just for the play calling in general. And you can see it because you're having an all-world defensive player having one of the best defensive seasons we've ever seen, and you can't take advantage of it.
Barry, that's
not Myles Garrett's
just
fault.
Like your Giants.
No, it's not his fault, but they're not taking advantage of how well he's playing. And that defense is playing, in general.
Yeah, but Barry, I'm saying just like your Giants, dude, there's talent in Cleveland, bro. Like Fanning, oh my God, Fanning is looking really good. They got
Fanning. Fanning is real good.
Yeah, both of their running backs are looking good. Isaiah Bond just needs a little bit more because he missed all the training camp. Isaiah Bond is looking like he's going to be a good player. Like they have talent in Cleveland, bro,
and plenty of picks to go with it next year.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, I got a question. I got a question for you boys, man. Not to switch gears, but I'm gonna do a little switcheroo, man. Let's talk NBA real quick. We got 15 minutes left.
Hey Brian, can I say one thing real quick? Hey,
yeah, absolutely.
If you haven't seen it, Anybody out here, y'all gotta go see that Jalen Petrie hit on Rasheed Rice. That is old school football.
Oh, I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how could you have
that's
missed
not-
it? I mean, he rocked him. Oof.
So I realize that we're only like a quarter of the way through the season, but I'm just curious from your guys' perspective, because I know you guys are much bigger basketball aficionados than I am. You know, I had my Austin Reeve question for you last week. So my question
they
is,
made it to socials.
yeah. So my question for you guys this week
Okay,
is,
can I answer that because I wasn't on the show? Austin Reeves, he's a max player in this league. That's about it. In
Thank
this
you.
in today's
Barry.
NBA, he's a max player.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. See,
20
all right. So my
20 years
question,
ago, 20 years ago, he ain't a max player.
Dang, I mean,
All right.
here's the thing, they're not gonna have the bread to give him a max deal.
that's what I was worried about. Okay,
I
listen,
love
get
it.
me
I
off
love it.
topic with the Austin Reeve things. Okay, so listen, if you had let's say because we're a legitimate media outlet here at the execs, and you each have a vote, right? League MVP. Like we knew that Thunder were going to be good, but I'm curious because you have the kid from Detroit, and then I'm wondering where you guys would place Luca in that conversation because he's top five in a lot of the offensive categories. And with the injuries the Lakers have had, like taking that into consideration. So I just want to throw it to you guys. Who would be your top three as of right now for MVP consideration, considering where these teams were supposed to be and kind of like where they're at?
Big body Brunson.
Kate Cunningham from Detroit.
Kate Cunningham's having a great year. I have too much hate for Luca to want to put him anywhere in the conversation.
That's not nice.
I know.
That's not nice. That's not nice.
I mean, obviously, Avi Shea, and a guy who I can't stand, from my own just bias, Nikola Jokic.
Okay. So what about you, Barry?
I'll probably have Cunningham. I'll have SGA, and I'll put Brunson. I think Brunson gets.
Brunson's been hooping.
Okay. Larry.
It's SGA's to lose. I hate to say it like that. It's his to lose, bro. I'll say, of course, because he's always going to be in there. Jokic is always going to be in there, and I'm just saying it's just a piss off series, bro. Sengun.
He gone.
I do think it's worth mentioning though, like Aaron said, Cunningham, like I know you guys like, you know, maybe the not so astute fans, but like I'm pretty shocked that, like, we said they'd be good, but like I didn't know that Detroit would be this good. Like the Cunningham pick, like does it sway you guys at all? Because I think everybody already knew that the Thunder were going to be the best team in the NBA.
But
you
not
know,
this
chalk.
good.
Yeah, not this good. I get it, but like everybody thought they were going to be the best team in the NBA regardless.
Sure.
But the fact that Detroit is so good, and they weren't maybe projected to be that good, does that play into it at all? Or the fact that the Thunder are just so much better than everybody thought, like as far as, you know, I think they're 23-1.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, it's the Thunder versus the field.
Yeah, the Thunder, they're about to be the new Warriors.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, they're on pace to break the Bulls record.
They're not going.
I get it, but I'm just listen. They say that every year, but 23-1 is 23-1.
It's pretty impressive, and they're deep. They're young. They play. The fact that they're young and they're such a good defensive team is what should scare you.
Like, I think they played like they love to play together, man. Like,
yeah,
they're gonna get better.
There's no egos. There's no nothing. I mean, I hate as a Rockets fan that the Thunder, aka Sonics, are this good.
Yeah.
The scary part is that they sitting on that Clippers pick. That's the scary part.
Yeah.
That's the even scary part. But you know what?
Yeah.
I'll say this is my dark horse. If he comes back on time, dude, Wemby might win MVP before he got hurt.
I don't know if he'll play enough games to do it though. Larry.
Yeah.
See, that would be my thing. But when he's playing, bro, that dude is putting up like video game numbers. Like
he's
Yeah,
way
crazy video game numbers, and they
But
were
like-
winning when he was back.
But like Barry said, if the Thunder keep on the same pace they are, it's pretty much SG's.
Oh yeah, it's 10 versus the field.
Yeah, I mean,
to
I think-
lose.
it wouldn't shock me by January 1 they have 3 losses. It wouldn't shock me.
No.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Kate
Jalen
Cunningham
Williams even came
is,
back yet?
is
They
so
not-
good.
They
So
still play
yeah,
without
he
Jalen,
is.
right?
I heard
Jalen came back, right?
for the Suns.
No, Jalen Williams for the Thunder.
Yeah, he
He
back.
back yet?
Yeah, they will back. Yeah,
Okay.
they will back. Yeah.
That was crazy that they were still winning games and blowing guys out, and he wasn't even back. He's
Mhm.
their second best player. That's crazy.
But you know who's a really big surprise to me, and I think you guys talked about it a little bit when we started the season. The Raptors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
They're-
think Coach
they're
actually
really-
mentioned that. Oh no, you're right. It
They're
was
a
Larry.
really good
was Larry.
defensive team.
I mentioned them
They're
to
a
get
really
the
good
season.
defensive team. I think the pieces fit pretty well there. Shout out to the Raptors. They're going to be a tough out. But I mean,
Brandon Ingram is balling. Scotty Barnes is there. You got quickly.
he's just
RJ
got to stay
Barrett.
healthy. Serious.
Yeah,
He's just
that's
got to
the
stay
problem.
healthy.
Yeah, be able to stay healthy.
Is the Clippers the most disappointing team on the year? Like, is there
Absolutely.
even another team in the conversation?
Absolutely.
Pelicans?
I don't. No,
The
I
Pelicans?
don't. I think the Clippers are very disappointing with the players that they have. I think, the icing on the cake is how they dismiss CP3.
Yeah.
It's just a bad situation out there. It's
Yeah.
just bad all around.
I hate the smell test for the Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, they're 11-13. Obviously, the Clippers are bad, but your boy John at people on the sideline. It's just I hate it so much. I hate it so much. Memphis Grizzlies.
Who gets traded first? Serious, Giannis, Zion, or Ja?
Zion.
Yep.
Like the Pelicans are actively trying to move Zion. They're actively trying to move Zion. I want Melo
And
Ball.
3 years ago, he would have got them some value. I don't know what he gets you.
I was going to say, if they
you.
would have moved him 2 years ago, like they would have got a haul.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you get for him. I don't know who wants him. Who wants him?
Zion?
Your
I mean,
Knicks?
he has 5. I mean, that's the thing.
He's a 5, right?
He's a 5. You bring Zion to the Lakers?
That's what I was gonna say, because Ayton, like, probably realistically is probably more of a 4 than a 5. Like he can play the 5, but he's not going to be able to play the 5 against other like real big, like post up type guys that like Jokic and some of these guys that want to play down low. They almost need somebody with a little bigger body.
You take
He
Zion.
gets back down a lot.
You take Zion, move him to Miami, move Bam down to the 4.
The problem with that is, and I'm gonna tell y'all right now, he's probably gonna end up on like the Wizards or something because you gotta make the money.
I'm gonna be for Chief in a couple weeks.
You gotta make the money.
The Clippers.
No, wait, but you gotta remember
He'll be on the Clippers.
he signed a max deal, so you gotta make the money match.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Yeah, you gotta make
That's
the
true.
money.
That's
Guess
where
what?
you run into the problem.
Lakers are out.
Yeah, like
We got to worry about Austin Reeves.
Trade LeBron.
Hey, don't even get me started. You didn't hear me last
That's
week, but if
true.
it came down to Austin Reeves or LeBron, you out.
Hey, what if it came down to LeBron or Zion?
That's not.
Mhm.
That's
No.
pretty tough.
No.
That's pretty tough.
There's no
Anyways,
way
with
he would
that
go
being
to.
said,
He probably would
gentlemen,
retire before he go
out of
play
here
in
real
New
quick.
Orleans.
So what?
But he
When
probably would
Giannis
retire
is
before.
healthy, he's gonna be a Nick.
Giannis is going to
Do you gut the team
Here's
to
the
get him?
question I have for you, and I
You don't.
asked this-
I don't think you have to gut the team, Larry. In serious, I think, to me, Kat and Giannis straight up should do it. But I think you have to throw in OG and you have to throw in Kyle Kuzma to make it work. As far as like what the Bucks
The
would
financial side?
want. No, I think just to make what the Bucks would want. Like I would want Cat, but if I can get Cat and OG, I think I can sell that. I can sell that by trading Giannis because Giannis is generational. Like I can get those two back. I can sell it.
In there, you
But
got
if you move in Giannis, you would want them two players plus a boatload of picks, which the Knicks don't have.
They have
Not
enough
really.
picks.
I
Because you
mean,
don't.
But if
You're
you
not
if you
rebuilding
put a
around Cat.
max player
and
like
future
Cat and
capital.
you put a player like OG and you put 3 picks in there, I think you can make it
You
work.
get
The
it
Knicks
done.
don't
Yeah.
have 3 picks.
Yeah,
Yes,
they
they
do.
do.
The Knicks don't
Yeah,
have
they
3
do.
picks. No, they
Yes,
don't.
they do. Yes,
Where?
they do.
In 2020, in 2040, they still
Yes, they
owe the
have.
Nets picks.
No,
Did
they
you
don't.
forgot?
They have picks. Trust me, they have picks.
Dude, it'll be
Trust me, they do.
2060 picks, bro. They don't have picks like that, bro. Like I
Yeah,
said,
nah. I think Cat and OG and some future picks for Giannis and
they would have to be unprotected
Kuzma
picks.
will get it done.
They would have to be totally unprotected picks, bro. That's the only way I would move Giannis and not have a feature to build around. Because you're not building around Cat. Cat will probably be a stopgap. You're not gonna keep Cat. You're not gonna keep Cat there that long. So
Why
like I
wouldn't they? They're the
said,
same age.
but they're 2 different players. Hey,
So what?
Cat's a
So
good
what?
player, but he's not Giannis.
He's an all-star.
Yeah. Look, I don't care
Yeah,
who gets traded to the Knicks. I don't get who gets traded from the Pelicans. All the trade I'm worried about is Melo Ball being on my Rockets. That's what I'm
I
worried
need
about.
that. I need that.
Hey,
I need that.
and
By the
we'll ship.
time we reconvene next week on Sunday, I need that to happen.
Hey, Jabari and Reed. Peace.
Send him. Send him now.
Send it
Send
ASAP.
it now.
Hey, like I said, that dude with his court vision, and that. So I don't want to turn this into a Rocky show, but this is what why I would say make that trade serious. Remember what I said about when you look at like Banchero or you look at Chet, they determine the game, bro. We win or lose or whatever. Jabari makes no difference. Move him while he's playing decent. Move him.
Right. Let me get you guys out of here, man. Breaking news. Thanks for coming back, kicking it with us, man. You know what to do. Give us a plug in the plug up and shut it down, homie.
Yeah, you know what? It's always a pleasure, boys, breaking it down with you. Like I said, I'll get my top 5 QB out here in the next couple days, and hopefully after they edit it and make me look cute with the filters, we'll get it up for you boys, so you guys can see some of the upcoming QBs. I'll even do an honorable mention. Always a pleasure chopping it up with you boys. Continue to check us out. They have shows throughout the week. Whoa, my stand broke. Sorry. They have shows throughout the week, so continue to check out the execs. And as Larry said, if you're a Niner fan, make sure you tune in because we cooking and we getting something brewing.
Appreciate you, big dog. Thank you for coming by, kicking with us, man. Larry, you know what to do. Get us out of here, big homie.
Man, what happened to Barry, man? He just disappeared out
Technical
there,
difficulty, I guess. I'm not sure.
Hey, he must have want to hear me talking about his Knicks over here, these fictional trades. But nah, man, like I say, always a pleasure, man. Always fun kicking it. I think I talked a little bit too much about the Lakers than what I would prefer to. You know, I'm not talking about no LeBron, but yeah, dude, it's always been a pleasure. If you ain't caught him, go check out my boxing video. Lamont Roach robbed again. UFC 323. Young. Oh my God, that fight. I'm gonna keep working on Barry. Seriously, I don't know if you watched that fight.
I watched the replay. I watched the replay of it.
Dude,
Yeah.
Hey, even watching the replay, you felt blood splashing on you.
I didn't catch it live.
Real talk. Yeah, so it's gonna be more content coming from it. We got some big matches in boxing coming up, big matches in UFC coming up. Shameless plug. You're gonna keep seeing me on there. But other than that, man, I'm out there. Catch our boys next week.
Appreciate you, big dog. Appreciate you, man. It's your boy Sears up in that 412 and the 703, man. Such a privilege and pleasure doing these show with these gentlemen on tonight, man. Tomorrow, we are back in the building, man, talking about everything around the world of WWE. Saturday night's main event is this weekend. John Cena's last match. There's going to be a lot of boohoo and crying. And some fly will bring it on tomorrow's show, man. It's a tough one. The whole gang will be with us, man. The Queen will be back in the building. Wicked Bitter, aka Travis, will be with us, and the whole gang, man. Talking about everything around the world of professional wrestling. So I'm looking forward to that. Also, before I get out of here, on Sunday, this upcoming Sunday, we will be doing a rocket show. Myself, Coach, Larry, maybe Jesse be in the building, doing a rocket show, man. Looking forward to doing that with these guys, man. With that being said, I'll close out my shows like this, man. God is good, even though sometimes people are not, man. God bless. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.